Hello, America. God bless America. It's Flag Day. God bless the USA. But yes, it's Flag Day. But unsurprisingly, it's also Donald J. Trump's birthday. Kind of weird how his birthday is on the same day as Old Glory. But yes, it's time to say happy birthday to Mr. 45th and soon to be Mr. 47th. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Trump. Happy birthday to you. And many more. I love that. Okay, now it's time for the actual video. Time to get serious here. What would be Joe Biden's Watergate? Let me explain. Watergate was the #1 thing that completely dissolved the Nixon administration. The cancer research he did, or the peace negotiations he did, how he ended the war in Vietnam. All of that was completely diminished when Watergate happened. Suddenly, Watergate was this big, atrocious thing that completely decimated his entire career. But compared to what modern politicians do right now, Watergate, fucking nothing. But what would be Joe Biden's long-lasting stain of the honest pants to his legacy? Let's start off with the obvious: high gas prices. When Joe Biden took office, well, gas prices rose to 10%. Not much, but then they rose to 20%. Then 30%. Then 40%, then 50%, then 60%, then 70%. And then in California alone, the average gas price was $7. $7. But what about Afghanistan? Don't forget, he was the one that allowed, basically, listen what happened. He took the military out first and left the people behind. No, Joe, no. You take the people and our allies out first, then you get the military out, and then all of the Humvees, the tanks, the black helicopters, you blow up. So, or at least take out the ignition devices, so then the little terrorists won't be able to use them. Take out firing pins, take away all of the magazines, break rifles in half, destroy grenades, blow up oil reserves. Why? Well, that's what the Tsar of Russia did against Napoleon, and Napoleon lost. But because of that, they are now doing more terrorism, unfortunately. But what about this? What about the inflation? Don't forget, we have not seen inflation this high since Jimmy Carter, okay? We have not seen oil prices go this high since Jimmy Carter. We have not seen this type of catastrophe since Jimmy Carter. And because of that, we are now basically scraping the barrel for anything to eat because of high inflation. What else would Joe Biden be remembered as? What about the guy who let Putin invade Ukraine? Don't forget, because of the complete and utter failure of the Afghanistan removal, Putin invaded Ukraine. And because of that, we are now paying $10 billion a day for a country most people can't even point on a goddamn map. And then and then there's Israel. Don't forget, because of the whole situation in Ukraine, Hamas felt emboldened. But not before Joe Biden gave Iran $6 billion. That Iran gave that $6 billion and then funded more wars with the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah. And because of that, we are now sending $200 billion a month to both countries equally. When will it end? And what else would he be remembered as? How about the only president that somehow fell up a flight of stairs? What about the only president that can't put together a full sentence? Joe Biden's legacy would be as messy as his pants. But what would you think would be his long-lasting legacy? The high inflation, the high gas prices, the food shortages, Ukraine, Afghanistan, Israel. What would you think, America? I am literally asking you, what do you think?